How did I let myself go? How did I get to this point in my life? Why am I such a damn failure? Have you guys ever said that? Me too. And I'm actually here to share a little bit more about my Faster Way journey. If you don't know who I am, my name is Nicki Entenmann. I am the top Faster Way to Fat Loss coach. The Faster Way is an online digital nutrition and wellness program based around intermittent fasting, macro tracking, carb cycling. I go over it into a lot more detail if you guys are actually curious about what the program entails. But I think it's really important to kind of hear about what got me to where I am today. I can think of two distinct points in my life where I was embarrassed and ashamed of how unhealthy and unhappy I was. Saying no to experiences and activities, saying no to life. I literally had a cloud of shame that was lingering over my head. So if you've ever felt like this, I completely understand how you feel, and I hope you resonate with this story. The first time I ever felt like this was right out of college. I had, maybe $200 in my bank account and a broken heart, and I made my way to the big city to indulge in everything that it has to offer. And I mean indulge in everything. There wasn't a Taco Bell or a tequila shot that I wasn't a part of for 2 straight years. It was probably at that moment too of the most foggy years of my life, but now that I can reflect, they were really clear to me, if that makes sense, from an outsider perspective. I was replacing fruits with fries, workouts with concerts, and water with wine. I thought I was Jesus up in here, just trying to make everything alcohol. I also had some of the best moments during this time period, but I drove my body into the ground physically, mentally, and emotionally. I was honestly sick. I was physically sick, and I was poisoning myself with sugar and processed food, and I never realized it. I was extremely lethargic. I had foggy brain. Could have been from being drunk or hungover the entire time. I was moody. I didn't have a single article of clothing that I came to the city with that fit me. And I am the queen of putting a smile on my face. But you guys, I was so unhappy. So I became a part of the New Year's resolution crew who signed up for a quick fix program. I was cutting calories. I was cutting carbs. I joined a gym. I eventually found a boyfriend who is now my husband. I had lost some weight, extremely unhealthily. I was starving. But I promised myself I would never gain weight like that ever again. Fast forward to getting married, working full time, having 2 kids in 13 months. And guess what was back? That shame cloud. But it was twice the size. How did I let myself go? How did I get myself to this point? But there was a lot more questions that were added on. How do you expect your kids to look at you as a role model when you look like this and you act like this and you feel like this? How do you expect your husband to be attracted to you and have any type of intimacy? At that point, however, it was all about survival. Quite literally. My one and only goal was to keep the tiny humans alive and joyful. But the irony of it is I was literally sucking the life and joy out of my family with my negativity and my guilt. Once again, it was Groundhog's Day all over again. I became a part of the New Year's resolution crew in 2018. I did the exact same program that used to work back in my 20s when I felt extremely shameful, except this time it wasn't working. So guess what I did? I even got more restrictive. I got more intense. I cut calories even more. And I was an absolute zombie of a wife and a mom. I had called my husband bawling one day how not only had I failed myself this time, but I also had failed our family. And that for some reason, my low carb diet that used to work back in my 20s wasn't working. And my husband looked at me and he said, if keto had really worked for you, why do you have to keep going back for you? Why do you have to keep going back to it? If it really worked, why do you have to keep revisiting it every Monday, right? Start fresh Monday or every other month. Like if something worked and was sustainable, you wouldn't have to be having these feelings of guilt and shame and deprivation. And I happened to be scrolling Instagram and I saw a before and after of one of my girlfriends. I would guess she probably lost 30 pounds. She looked incredible. But as I read her words, she didn't talk once about weight. She talked about her internal transformation, which really resonated with me. She talked about her change in her energy. She talked about her change in her sleep and her behavior and her confidence, intimacy with her husband, how she was a representation for her children. And I realized I was focusing on the wrong thing the entire time. And I thought at that point, why not, right? What's a few extra $100 to try a program when I have spent thousands on quick fixes that I thought would turn me into the person that I wanted to be? But this $200 into the faster way to fat loss was the best money I have ever spent. Yes, initially, did I do it for the vanity? Absolutely. I was like, girl, I want to be hot AF. But what I noticed is the difference in just a couple weeks of my energy and my mood and my confidence and my outlook on life. I would say 95% of my clients don't come to the faster way to lose, weight. And I'm here for that. Everyone's like, yeah, I want to look good. But when I hear that, I can feel they're discouraged and they're frustrated and they're lonely and they're looking for guidance and community. And losing fat is just an amazing side effect of this program. I never knew that I lost my community and my confidence or my happiness until I joined the faster way. This is so much more than an internal transformation. This is the reason I coach, because now instead of saying, how did you let yourself go? I said, I'm so happy that you let the old version of yourself go. You left such a negative and joy-sucking version of yourself behind. And now it is my mission to ensure that no mom, daughter, grandma, wife, sister, friend ever has to feel that version of themselves again. I'd love to be a part of your journey. I'd love to hear more about you and maybe some of your struggles and where you currently are on your journey, so I can be a part of it. So please put your comments here. I would love to know more about you. Thank you so much.